Speaking of things here at home, yesterday in Ticonderoga, which continues to be the dominating the headlines around the region, and it would be noteworthy also that there are best meetings in other communities, um, like North Alba and others, from what I've seen on Facebook. But there was a public safety meeting in the community building in the basement at 8 a.m. yesterday morning. And residents there was a group of around 7 or 8 or so that were able to go out and see what took place there. And concerns were raised over the evacuation plans of what would take place in an emergency situation for the residents in those places were this to go through. Now, what it appeared to be was that the members of that committee or board or whatever they would be tended to downplay the concerns of those there and say that it was not up to them, it was up to the town board. And that might be the case, but they are a public safety committee, and public safety would be concerned with anything to do with fires and chemical explosions and whatnot, I would think. So that was one of the issues that was raised by those in attendance, and questions swirling at the meeting also of political corruption and things of that nature happening in the Ticonderoga town government. And so that was the report of what took place at the meeting, and whether there are merits to those. We are still looking to investigate those concerns and what took place there. We did contact the Adirondack Park Agency on Monday. I mentioned calling on Monday. A representative did call back today, and unfortunately, I was not able to respond to the call as I would have liked to have, due to being held up by another obligation. But in his voicemail, the representative noted that the BEST project is under permit, is in the preliminary review process, is how he phrased it in his message. So that is something that I will be swiftly following up on. But I was pleased at most to be able to get a call back from them at all, given given who they are and their wicked ways. So with that, we will continue to also follow the BEST issue and the lithium battery project as it comes out, and press the APA on why they would allow any of the lithium battery or the solar panels to come into the Adirondack Park to begin with, because that is a question that many residents here in Ticonderoga, Moriah, and the surrounding region want to know, myself included. So there and many deserve to, and that's something that we all deserve to know as folks who live here and work here, and it should be noted and exposed for what it is. So with that being said, we move forward into our business spotlight. And before I move on to that, I do also want to note that there were some concerns after that meeting in Ticonderoga over decorum at public meetings, and as it got a little bit heated, And so, with of course, the emotions and things like that running high over this issue, respect, courtesy, all of that should be noted. We here in America, we do not live in an oligarchy or a tyranny or any of that is not on these shores yet. We are a free nation, and the government works for us and not the other way around. And we have to hold them accountable for that reason. And so I would urge, of course, that same level of cooperation, respect, mutual respect, and all of that. And with that, I never did not mention it on air, but when I went to the first meeting, I was pleased to see the amount of support, encouragement, and amount of thankfulness and gratitude shown for the Ticonderoga Police Department when everyone was so vocal in opposition at that meeting. But I just thought that was such an encouragement to see for the Ticonderoga PD. So now I will move to the business spotlight